Well, as far as openers go, coaches always wish they had a little longer to prepare. Players always wish they could have played games a couple weeks ago, and they're tired of practice. So excited to see just what areas we need to improve, get better at, and at the same time play against a top 10 opponent, the only top 10 matchup for opening night. And Coach Few and I both talked about it's great for the game to have matchups like that following Monday night football to get people talking about college basketball. And the good thing with the NCAA, there's no losers when you play games like this because it doesn't hurt you on your net rating if you do lose for whoever the loser is, and it's only something that can help you with a positive win if you're that team that wins. So great for the game, great opportunity for us to see just where we're at also as a team. Early in the year, you always have playing teams that return 7 of their top 8. You're always at a disadvantage, and playing on the road, you're at a disadvantage. But at the same time, this will help us really get prepared for the rest of the year and prepare us for what's ahead in life in the Big 12.
You mentioned being at a disadvantage. How challenging is that when you have so many new guys and your first game is on the road at Gonzaga?
What was Coach thinking scheduling that, huh? So, but at the same time, we've had a couple good weeks of practice knowing that we had to really be ready to go on opening night. And you can't simulate that first road game. And you can't simulate the adrenaline, the crowd, the enthusiasm, but you can learn from it. And the good thing with having a couple guys that have been to Final Fours and are returning guys that have played in big games, at least the new guys can listen to them because if you're not ready in that first road game, it can be tough, as we saw last year at Michigan State.
The new guys, both freshmen, has there been anybody that, obviously you knew what these guys could do, but in practice has surprised you at all?
Since you're able to practice with guys all summer long, probably the surprise happens earlier rather than later. But at the same time, I think right now it's you want to know how good you are, and you have a couple scrimmages, and that gives you a sense. And I know in college football they always say the biggest jump is week 1 to week 2. And with us starting the season off with Gonzaga and Arkansas, we'll know right away what we have to work on and what weaknesses we have because both those teams will exploit it if we have one.
Is there a way to simulate that late tip, or is that something you don't worry about?
Yeah, you don't even worry about it. The players will be fine. It's the coaches might be sleeping. And they wouldn't mind that anyway. But I'm sure with the first game and the excitement of that, everyone's going to be ready to go.
What is this particular Gonzaga team present in terms of challenge?
Yeah, I think if you want to look at the challenges, it's easy to find from a team that returns 7 of their top 8, especially early in the year. That's a huge advantage over teams that have a lot of newer players, where you're still trying to develop chemistry and what each player's best at, what offense, defense to run, win. And at the same time, this is a team that last year lost to Purdue and was playing their best basketball at the end of the year. It's a road game, like you said, a late tip. What is it, 11:30 our time? So, there's a lot of things that side of it. Also, you can flip it and say, what a great way to start the season. What a great way to see what your team needs to work on and give your team an opportunity to have a chance at a quality win and be a part of the best game on opening night. And it's great national television. People will be watching more on the West Coast than the East Coast, but they'll be watching after Monday Night Football, and it's a great way to kick off the season.
Will there be a little bit of adjusting just in terms of you got so many new staff?
Yeah.
Like, is there, you have to do some of that in season, I guess?
Yeah, and there's only so many things you can simulate in a game. I mean, the intensity, the noise, all the adrenaline that goes into a game, you can't simulate that in practice. So with that, quality games bring it out quicker than games where you might be winning by 20 or 30 points.
Role this season, part of this sort of long tradition of African Talk a little bit more about that tradition.
Yeah. Well, I think when you have a good program, normally guys stay unless they go to the NBA, and normally guys improve. And we've really been blessed to have guys come in that have embraced our culture and worked hard to get better each and every year. And when it was time for their number to be called or they became starters, they were ready for it. And it's never easy to go through for any player. Everyone that comes in here is not used to being on the bench, not used to not starting. Everyone that goes to the NBA, same thing. They're not used to being the 15th man rather than the number one guy. So it's always an adjustment with new roles and new positions. At the same time, that's what it's great having upperclassmen on the team to say, hey, I've been there, done that. I know what it's like. You're going to be okay. And we've had great upperclassmen to help the younger guys with whatever they're going through.
You don't find this out until, the season's a few years old at least. But
Yeah.
identity of this team. Can you pinpoint that at this point, or?
You can't until you get to games, like you said, and later on. But in the first two scrimmages, one thing you liked was in both scrimmages, when we got down, we were able to respond, and they had a togetherness and a fight to come back. And that's a much better quality to have than not have. So, because you're going to, in basketball nowadays, there's so many swings. And with the three-point shot, with the speed of the game, I mean, 10-point leads become 10-point deficits like that. So you got to have resilience. You got to have that grit, that toughness. And again, we've only had scrimmages, but we showed some of that. And hopefully that we'll see more of that in the games to come.
Langston on track to play?
So Langston's been practicing and doing a good job and progressing. So we're hoping for the best. One thing I know is a coach, we might have an injury today or tomorrow. So we're knocking on wood. Everybody's okay. But as of right now, everybody would be cleared medically to play, which is a blessing.
Robert Wright's a guy who was committed here for a long time.
Yeah.
Really sort of electric offensive player. What have you seen from him this season?
Rob is somebody that extremely hard worker in the off season and spent an enormous amount of time in the gym. He's gotten better defensively, on and off the ball. He's gotten better at getting to the paint and making plays for others and not leaving his feet or putting himself in tough positions. And in our scrimmages, some guys tend to play better in games. Some guys played better in practice. Some guys, it's the same. But in both games, he's played really well, and hopefully that's something that continues.
Talk a little bit about that coaching staff, but is there something different than in previous years? You've already noticed that this is the strength of this coaching staff?
Yeah, I think the background, the wisdom. I mean, you bring in Coach Hunt's seen about everything in the NBA. Coach Armstrong was at LSU, UAB. He's seen a lot over the years. Coach Henson, seen a lot from the NBA to college to Big 12. So you get some different varieties, which you like. You get some professionalism and calmness with people that have been in it for 20, 30 years. At the same time, there's always an adjustment just on how everything is done because every program is a little bit different. And when you're on a staff, you give up what you might prefer for what the staff and the team and what's best for them. So that'll be a transition as all of them do scouting reports and we get into games and who talks when and what information's passed. Plus the NCAA rules have been different now with being able to show a film during the game. I mean, a lot of changes all at once and 2 additional staff members. That's something that just happened last year. So a lot of change, but a lot of possibilities for this to be a really good staff. Great questions. I think those guys are.
Do you see this team
Oh, I'm
as
sorry.
one that's going to make more kind of kill shot runs, or more going to grind it out and just slowly pull away?
As long as the ending's good, I don't care what it is. But I think this is a more explosive team. I think a team that could score in bunches, and we have a lot of speed, a lot of quickness, a lot of athleticism. So that tends to be more an explosive team rather than a grinded out team. Thank you, guys. So the question is,
I've been here a little while, but welcome.
Thank you.
Jeremy, how do you celebrate your birthday?
Practice. Probably link up with some of the guys after this, but really nothing. Staying locked in for Gonzaga on Monday, so.
What birthday is this?
23. 23. Getting old.
Getting there.
Yeah.
How much do you guys, appreciate an opportunity like this to kind of go, first game of the year, top 10 game, something to get up for?
Yeah, definitely something to get up for. I mean, usually you start out with a couple exhibitions, some gimme games, some just to feel everything out. But I mean, Coach Drew, he wanted to just set the tone early, and I think that's good for our team, just to kind of see where we're at and get these wins under our belt and get that confidence throughout the season. So I think it'd be huge for us.
Yeah, I agree with Roach. I feel like just going in with Gonzaga off rip is a good test. So we're just going to see how it goes. Obviously, we want to come out with the dub and start our season 1-0 and put kind of the country on notice.
Would you rather start out with some easy, kind of work your way into it, or it's Gonzaga and then Arkansas?
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. I mean, for me, it's fun, like starting off with these kind of games like that to set the tone. That gets your confidence going. I mean, obviously, you can play a low-level school or whatever, but that's not really a real test. So to see where we're at, physically, mentally, for these two games, it's going to be huge because we're playing at a neutral site with Arkansas, and then we're going up to Gonzaga, playing a late game on the East Coast. I'm used to the East Coast time, so it's going to be a late game adjustment. And to see how the guys adjust would be huge, and just getting ready for that.
Yeah, and I feel like we're just all competitors at the end of the day. So we're up for a challenge. We're not really going to run away from it, So thank God we got a coach like Coach Drew, who also doesn't fear anybody. So that's just how the schedule's just made.
Y'all are projected to be one of the best three-point shooting teams in the nation, in large part because of y'all. How much easier does it make it when there's so much space?
I mean, it's amazing. I feel like playing with guys like Roach, I go through the whole roster, honestly. We're all capable shooters. It just gives everyone driving lanes, and if they do, say someone does help on Roach, he has someone he could trust, and me or go down the line, anybody to hit the driving kick three. So opens up our offense a lot, gives us a lot more opportunities for people like Roach to go downhill, make plays, VJ, whatever the case may be. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's big time. I mean, especially for me, just I like to play downhill and play in space. So when you got guys like JC out there, you got guys like Lang, J Nunn, even Rob, guys who can stretch the floor, makes it a lot easier for me. And I always say to JC, if I'm driving my pass, you got to shoot it every time, because I know what he's capable of. He's already shown it in a couple of the scrimmages. So I'm always gonna have that confidence in him throughout any time. So.
Jeremy, a lot of new faces on this team, including y'all too. What would you say the identity of this team? Maybe it'll take some time to develop. And did you learn anything about your team in the scrimmage?
I think identity is to play fast, defend. I think defending is the biggest part. I feel like everybody's capable of just guarding 1 through 5. We do it in practice every day. So I think the identity of being a defensive team would be huge. I mean, you're in the Big 12. You got to get stops. You got to get stops to win. You got to get stops to win the championship. So that's going to be huge, definitely for this upcoming games, but down the stretch too.
Anything else? You mentioned Rob as one of the guys who's a big shooter. Probably a lot he can learn from you. What have you seen from this offseason? What is that?
I've seen a lot from Rob. I mean, he's just his competitiveness and his confidence. I think that's huge. Coming in as a freshman, you got to keep that confidence. So just always instilling confidence in him, whether he's having a bad day, good day, or whatever it is. you got to keep that confidence because as a freshman, I know I had some struggles of being confident and stuff like that, some ways, but just trying to lead him in the right direction because, I mean, I've been through it for 4 years, so I kind of know what's right and what's wrong. So I was trying to lead him in the right direction so he doesn't, get his nose rubbed in. I don't even want to curse out here, so he don't go down that dark place, though.
Jalen, you mentioned some of the players as well, but who do you just really look forward to playing with in real season games after
Yeah.
seeing what you've done in practice?
I mean, I honestly can't even give you a real answer. Obviously, Roach right here, man beside me, so I'll probably just go with Roach. But, man, we have a really talented team, man. So, I'm excited for everybody from top to bottom. But, to answer your question, though, I'll probably have to go with Roach.
Appreciate that.
For both of you guys, obviously you come from, what has it been like, Foster Pavilion now? I know you haven't played a game in there, but just that, and then the development center and all that. What's that been like for you guys?
It's been cool. I mean, we started off in the Farrell. They kind of were shutting down a lot of stuff. We were moving a lot of stuff. But to get to the new facility, I mean, it's an NBA facility for real. You got Foster, you got the training rooms, you got the locker room, you got just all the things that you need to just be successful here at Baylor. So I think that's huge. And I mean, it's been big. It's been big for definitely us too. Just getting into this new system. Something new, something different. So it's been good.
Yeah, we're just for sure blessed to be able to play in this type of facility. Like you said, it's an NBA level facility, and we're fortunate. Not many places like this in the country have access to resources like this. So we're just gonna try to take advantage of it.
Y'all spend a lot of time over here. Outside of basketball, or y'all just
In the
hang out?
in the Foster.
Yeah.
I mean, we kick in the locker room a lot. We play ping pong, pool, but we all live close to each other, so we're always hanging out. Like Roach spots usually the go-to spot. Friday night watching basketball, Saturday night watching basketball, chop it up, like whatever, get to know each other. So now we're really well connected team.
Yeah.
Either of y'all got this good.
Yeah, played against them my sophomore year. That Paulo Chet matchup in Vegas. It was a big game. They play fast. They play free. So it's gonna be definitely a matchup that I'm looking forward to.
I never have. I was recruited by them in the portal, but I never actually played against them.
Thanks, guys.
Perfect. Thank you.